and this is my big sister, Stacey.
And this is Sister Social Call.
Well, hey, sissy.
Well, hello, sister.
Oh, listen to you, sis. What's going on?
Well, I've lost my voice. Oh, I'm a little shitty tonight.
Our option was doing it today or waiting until Friday to see how 2 days of work would have sounded on your voice.
Yeah, so we decided we're going to go for it today. So I probably won't say as much as I usually like to because it sounds like I've smoked 6 packs of darts today. But I'm going to try to weigh in on this topic a little bit because it's interesting to say the least. But I'm ready. I have like Neo-Citrin hot drink for my throat. I've got fisherman friends here and I have a bottle of water. I also put on Guard essential oils on my neck. I'm hoping to not sound too terrible, but I don't feel terrible. I just sound really terrible.
Well, let's get the show on the road here. We want to welcome all of our listeners back to Sister Social Call and say special hello to our new listeners.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
So like last week, Chrissy and I had said that we were planning our podcasts for the quarter back in February, and we asked you, our listeners on Instagram, what you wanted us to talk about. And so last week we talked about books that change our lives. And this week we had another person suggest that we should talk about conspiracy theories. And boy, do we have some hot takes on them. So we're going to just start off with probably the one that's like the most famous, which is the moon landing in 1969. I am extra interested in this right now because Artemis 2's journey just went around the moon. So the official story is that NASA successfully sent astronauts aboard Apollo 11 and Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the moon. But conspiracy theorists argue the entire event was staged, possibly filmed on a secret set to win the space race against the Soviet Union. The conspiracy theorists point out that the flag appears to wave despite no wind on the moon, strange shadows in photographs, and the absence of stars in the sky. But scientists and experts have repeatedly explained these anomalies. Lighting, camera exposure, and physics account for them. Still, for some reason, this theory persists. The Artemis 2 crew did not capture any photos of the original moon landing, but NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter camera has gobs of evidence of the Apollo missions on their website, and I will be sure to put a link in our show notes to the science. So I have never believed that there was any amount of validity to this conspiracy theory, but what about you, sis?
No, me either.
Sorry, I'm laughing because there's not much to say about that.
There isn't. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist at all. I'm not even a little bit, ever. So I just believe, like, let good be good enough, like, there's lots of evidence. Why do we need to argue something that's not factual? It just seems like a bit of a waste of time to me. So I'm not going to go on to any crazy tangents here because I probably sound ridiculous, but I'm with you, sis.
Yeah. Do you have any to talk about the next conspiracy theory, or would you like me to read it?
Well, I'll say what it is. How about the flat Earth conspiracy theory? This is a funny one to me.
Okay, so the next conspiracy theory that we're going to chat about is the flat Earth theory. And despite overwhelming scientific evidence that the Earth is a sphere, some people believe it's flat, that space agencies are involved in a massive cover-up. Online communities, videos, and social media have helped this idea spread in recent years. God, I have so many swear words in my brain right now. What's fascinating isn't just the claim, it's how strongly people hold on to beliefs even when faced with contradictory evidence. Anyways, it's a powerful example of how communities and identities shape what we accept as truth. What are your thoughts, sis?
Well, again, I think it's completely ridiculous. My biggest thing about all these are just like, what gets people thinking about this stuff? Like, what is going on in people's lives that they get believing these things? I'm just so curious about that side of the conspiracy theories because I think they're all a bit atrocious. But I would like to understand more about the people who believe in them
Yes, and believe them so passionately.
so passionately.
For the folks that believe that the earth is flat, like I would love to take a walk to the end of the earth with them. And if the earth is indeed flat, like then I will be the first to jump off the edge because I so believe, I'm so confident that it is a sphere that it's just ridiculous to me to think that we're just a flat earth. It's just wild to me.
Yeah, and like, do these flat earth people know where the edge is?
You know, I don't know the answer to that.
Because I just flew all the way to the other side of the world. And I'm just curious if maybe I flew over the edge. Like if this is where they think it is. Or where is it? That's very peculiar to me.
Yeah, I had to quickly look that up. That was a really good question. So a quick Google search. This is what Google quickly said to me. Flat Earth proponents generally believe the Earth is a stationary, disc-shaped plane rather than a globe. In this model, the edge is typically described as a massive, towering ice wall surrounding the circumference
So
of
are
the
we
planet,
talking like
often identified as Antarctica, which holds the ocean in place.
so there's that one.
Exactly. Okay. Because Chrissy and I do not want to dwell in conspiracy theories too much, we're just going to dwell on just one more. So the last theory is about the Illuminati. So according to conspiracy lore, this is a secret society controlling world events from behind the scenes, governments, economies, even pop culture. Some of the historical events conspiracy theorists falsely claim were orchestrated by the Illuminati include the French Revolution, the 1800 United States presidential election, and the assassination of JFK. The idea originates from a real group founded in the 18th century in Bavaria, but today's version is far more dramatic. Some believe celebrities, politicians, and business leaders are all part of this hidden network using symbols and coded messages in plain sight. While there's no credible evidence supporting a global shadow government, the theory thrives because it offers a simple explanation for complex systems. Someone, somewhere is pulling the strings. Your thoughts first, sis.
Well, so sometimes I watch this show on YouTube. It's called Soft White Underbelly.
Yes.
And they do a lot of documentaries and stuff with drug addicts and people who suffer from mental health disorders. And they often speak of the Illuminati. I've heard that's the only time I ever have heard of the Illuminati. And
Is on the
was
soft
like,
white underbelly by the folks that are having psychosis from drug-induced psychosis.
yeah. And I've been like, every time I've ever heard it, I'm just like, oh, who knows what they've come up with in their little drug-induced world, the Illuminati. And then here we are where it's like actually a thing. You found some information on it. It's like, oh, this is actually another conspiracy theory. So yeah, I have all kinds of questions about this with the conspiracy theories and stuff. But I don't know. This is like when you really start digging deep into why people feel this way. I think there's a lot of different ways this could go, or like why people believe in these things and what has got them to that point. Is it because they searched it once and their algorithm just started to dump all this information on them about it because they started to inquire? And now they just absolutely believe everything that comes their way because that happens. Like that's a reality for people. Or like what's going on in there? Like, what's going on that they just so badly believe in these types of things? It's very interesting to me. More so
Well,
the brain of
I
people
was just going
thinking
to
these.
say, hopefully your foray into psychology back at the university will help you understand why people would get can have such a strong conviction for these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, like, yes, the brain is so fascinating to me. And so while there are these things that people believe and don't believe, whatever, there's always going to be them in the world, right? Like there's always going to be conspiracy theories and then there's going to be facts and there's going to be people that don't believe and then there's going to be people that do believe. And that's all fine and dandy. But I'm just curious about, yeah, the human mind, that what is going on there and why do people lean towards that? Is it because it makes them feel a sense of belonging with a community of people that believe in something similar? Is that it? Like, I have all these questions. I need to find somebody and sit down with them. I
I
got
don't.
questions.
You got questions. I don't believe that there is an organized group of the Illuminati playing chess with the world. I don't believe that, but there are
No.
organized groups that exclude people and have a very, like, women, they exclude women from their membership in certain ways, and it's hierarchical, and they have ceremonies. And so I
Yeah.
sometimes like wonder about those groups and their contributions, and it does seem to keep a certain echelon of society in those groups together. And so I sometimes wonder what's going on behind those closed doors, because they're quite secretive.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think there's some grand group of folks that are getting together that are planning the demise of this world, or assassinations or wars, or this who's going to be famous, who's not going to be famous. Like, yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me either. I don't, definitely. And I really don't subscribe to all the negativity that comes along with conspiracy theories in a lot of cases. It's just not how I live my life. And so I just don't truly believe that everybody's out to fuck us over, or the universe or God or whatever. Like, I don't believe that we're put on earth to suffer or to question our existence or to like, we're not put here for that. And so I choose to really focus on what I have factual information on, like what I can control in my life, what affects me on a day-to-day basis. And I don't waste, I think it's a waste of precious time. When we were talking about doing this episode, sis, remember? And I was just saying, you know, for me, I think all the time people waste on this shit, they could be taking up a new hobby. They could be doing some self work. They could be volunteering for a community organization and giving back.
Uh-huh.
They could be, there's so many more productive ways for people to spend their time, in my eyes,
Uh-huh.
than to sit there and meddle in these things that aren't real. But that's the difference, is that these people really feel that this is factual, this is real. So it's so interesting to me, but for me, that's not where I spend my time.
Uh,
So it's an interesting topic. Like, it made me think about things a little bit in a different way. Like, I was like, well, I don't even really know what conspiracy theories are out there because I spend so little time focusing on anything like that. So I just kind of think to myself, like, why? But yeah, it's interesting, to say the least, but a good conversation to have. I mean, we've talked, I don't think you and I have ever sat down and had a chat about conspiracy theories before.
I don't think we have ever. And in fact, until planning for this episode, I've never looked up the Illuminati. I've seen enough reference to it in pop culture that I knew what it was referring to, but I just don't care. However, when I need to find something quick and interesting about a topic, I will often turn to podcasts. And so when I was researching this episode, I found a podcast called Conspiracy Theories. So for folks who are like love true crime, I feel like this is a pretty close leap in the genres to go listen to a podcast on conspiracy theories. So if you're into this stuff, like Chrissy and I are not going to waste any much more time of our life on conspiracy theories. I can tell you that much. But there's podcasts out there, and the one that I really enjoyed yesterday, just for kind of figuring out what's going on, was the podcast called Conspiracy Theories. And I'll also add that into the show notes.
Well, Stacey and I also really want to honor that we will talk about anything. And if you guys ask us or suggest a topic, so long as it's not degrading or against our morals, values, beliefs in certain regard, then we will talk about it. Because we want to be open and honest. And so we are talking about this because somebody suggested it.
Yeah.
And if moving forward, anybody has anything they want us to talk about, you can send it to us on our social media or to sistersocialcall@gmail.com. You can send us your topics. We'll talk about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because apparently there's rocks we haven't unearthed in our lives yet.
Exactly. So we can have a little chat about it.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
All right. Let's move along to our peaks, pits, and plans. Pits. Well, I have a small one. Chrissy, you can weigh in on this, see if I'm overreacting. So on Sunday, Sean said he was going for a bike ride. They were doing trail maintenance. So it's going to be a long day. I knew that. He said he was going about 9 a.m, should be home around 5. So that's a pretty long day. I also only got home on Friday. And so I didn't see Sean on Saturday much because he worked all day. And then he went for this giant bike ride on Sunday. And the giant bike ride turned out that he got home around 8. So I wasn't really happy about that because I hadn't seen my husband really that much. And I just felt like at a certain point you can throw the towel in your day and come home. But he said like some things didn't go quite as anticipated, which is okay. I understand that. And he never articulated to me, only until we were having this conversation after he got home, after my annoyance, that it was really important for him to finish this ride. This was half of a very long ride that he's going to be doing in about a month. So he wanted to finish it, but he didn't tell me that. All I knew was that he was going to do this long ride, half a day, like a full 8 hours, and doing trail maintenance. So I was kind of annoyed because I was like, I want to see my husband. Am I overreacting?
Maybe a little bit. I think it's just like probably a miscommunication. Like had he said to you when he was saying like, I'm going to go do this long ride, like it's really important because it's half of what I'm going to be doing whenever, then you might have been a little bit more understanding if it was taking him a long time, but you didn't know all that information.
I did not.
But it's like at the end of the day, like what is 3 hours?
Yeah.
I would think.
My love language is quality time. And so it's kind of
Yeah.
a little of a hint to me that you have committed to
Right.
being with your pals all day and you haven't seen your wife for basically 5 days. Like even though I got home on Friday, I hadn't really seen him Friday night a little bit. I saw him a tiny bit Saturday, and then anyways. So that was my pit. We worked through it. Sean is not the strongest communicator, and he did admit that when we were walking. He goes, we had a little giggle about it because it's true. He doesn't really talk that much.
Well, and even just, did he text you while he was out on the ride saying like, hey, it's actually going to be a little bit later than anticipated. Sorry, babe, be home around this time or whatever. Did he communicate that?
He called and he checked in once. But he did text me and say there's a lot of trees down in this one area. And I knew that because I tried to walk in the one area, like hike in there. And it was just like terrible with the blowdowns over the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a breakdown.
I just think it's one of those things where you were like tired from being on the road so much, and you have been lately. You've been away a lot. and you missed Sean a lot.
I did.
And he's been at home carrying on regular everyday life. So for him, just regular everyday life, but you've been away missing. And so when you get back and you are like, your needs weren't being met, but he's just carrying on just regular.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And I
know?
said that I think I was being sensitive a little bit to it because I had just gotten home.
Yeah. And also, yeah. Anyways, like Sean's never out doing anything mischievous or bad. So it's just,
Never.
and it rarely happens. Like you guys have you run a pretty tight ship there. So it's like the one off that it ever happens. But
It's true. We rarely have a
I think
disagreement.
he could do a better job at just communicating. Yeah. And also you have to communicate with him about like what your needs are too. Like you're coming home, you could have even been like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I can't wait to spend some time with you this weekend. I don't know. Like it goes both ways, but
Yeah.
if Sean was out being crazy, I'd be saying, yeah, for sure. But he's just out doing what he loves. Sometimes things don't necessarily always go as planned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, that was my only pit. And now everybody knows. Okay, so peaks. Well, the peak of him being gone all day, then like it let me just go for walks and do puzzle and like just be a bum at home. I prepped some food, talked to some girlfriends I haven't chatted to for in a while. So like it was very, very chill weekend because I really needed that after traveling quite a bit in the last month. And Monday, I volunteered at the thrift store. That was good. Got some good finds for Sean, which that was the first time I've ever been able to buy Sean anything at the thrift store. So that was good.
Sweet.
Yeah. A couple pairs of pants. And then as
Nice.
for plans, I'm not planning much again this weekend. Mostly just if the weather's nice, I wouldn't mind planting. I'm like, that's risky business because it could freeze overnight, but I wouldn't mind getting my herbs planted in my planter boxes and get those going. And
Mm.
so, yeah, so that kind of is something I'm contemplating. I know it's a little bit early, but I'm kind of excited. And, I just have on Monday, I have some stuff to do with my volunteer gig with the emergency support services and I don't know, just spring cleaning, like really nothing. I'm not leading an exciting life right now that I'm home. What about you, sis?
Well, my pit is that I can't talk because talking is my most favorite thing to do. And so, but right now it seems to be okay. Like the neocitrin seems to really soothe the vocal cords. So that's sweet. But yeah, losing my voice is no bueno in my job. I talk all day, you guys. It is horrific. Anyways, but peaks, I got lots of peaks. For my first thing, we had our somatic dance on Friday night, and that was just unbelievable. My gosh. If you ever have the opportunity to go and do like somatic movement anywhere, go do it. Treat yourself. It may seem crazy to you, but go do it. But then on Saturday,
Can I just ask a quick question about it?
yeah, yeah.
Did Christine guide you in your dancing, or was it like all just you busting a move for an hour and a half or whatever?
Okay, well, there was definitely some prompt,
Okay.
but it was like move whatever you felt in that moment. So, we kind of started by sitting down. We were all sitting on the ground or laying, whatever felt right to you. And then kind of like move when the spirit moves you kind of thing, like, so she had an hour and 15 minutes of music and it was all kind of different, really powerful, Bible, very moving music. And so, yeah, it was just kind of what you feel called to do it, and stay embodied and move with whatever. And when you totally just allow yourself to be in the moment and honestly like move your body and touch your body and whatever, just exactly how you feel without overthinking about worrying about if somebody else is watching you or anything like that. It's amazing. Like you can just really move some big energy through your body. Trauma gets stuck in your body and the issues are in your tissues. And so movement really helps to move a lot of things that can be stuck in your body. And so that is truly the whole idea behind this. And so I'll speak from my experience of doing it. Music, different songs. Like, I think if we go back in our history of human beings, like dance and song and ritual and all of that it's in us because it's what our ancestors all did. It goes way far back in time, and we've lost the art of that for healing. Basically, it is like coming home to that. And so being in a group of women and dancing and, crying and screaming, and you're dancing and you're laying down or you're stretching or you're like touching your like breasts or your hips or your womb or whatever. And you're just literally moving as you're feeling in that exact moment. And then it's profound what happens. There's a lot of energy moved in that kind of work. So if you're not ready for it though, we've worked a long time to get to the point where we were all ready for this. We've done a lot of really deep, deep, deep work to get to this place. So it was very cool. And I should mention in that we have a listener and somebody who is also named Krista, and she has reached out to me on Instagram. So we connected on Instagram, but I've never met her in person. She is participating in Christine's You Make Sense group. So she's at the beginning of the whole thing. Anyways, she was there. And so I actually got to meet her in person. And that was really cool because we had only met online thus far. And so it was really awesome to put a face to her name and to then have this really amazing experience with her. So that was really awesome. And did you have any more questions about that?
No, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no sweat. Happy to do so. Then on Saturday morning, I went to Vaughn's funeral, which was very beautiful and a really wonderful celebration of the woman she truly was. So that was really special to do that. And then I went to Manitou with Kelly for her birthday. So I was like, we should do something different. We always just go for supper. So we went to Manitou, which I thought, like, this will be amazing after the somatic night. I was pumped about it. If you guys can imagine this, me and Kelly are just floating around doing our thing. And I look up, and who is at the hot springs? Christine Borshnek, who is the facilitator of all these great events. So, like, my freaking soul sister, she didn't know I was going to be there. I didn't know she was going there. All of a sudden, I look up and I'm like, Christine. And she didn't have her glasses. She's like, oh my God, like, how crazy. We did not know we were each going to be there.
And Manitou is not close to Regina. It's actually a planned activity. It's not like you just go for an hour, because it's an hour and a half drive to get there. It's unbelievable that you were both there at the same time. It is believable. Like, it's believable
because that's the shit that happens with her and I. Like, it's the craziest stuff. So I got to meet her husband, Brad, who I've never met before. That was great. So that was awesome. Anyways, all that was really great. And then I was invited over to Shelby and Robbie's again for a sauna night because they were sauning it up. And so I went, and it was amazing. And I thought that it would make my voice feel better. But sadly, it did not work. But it made my soul feel better. But that was great. Oh, and then she gave me this. Maybe you guys have had them before, but I never have. Have you? At Costco, they have sorbet in a coconut or in a lemon. Do you know these things, sister?
Those, and yes, I have had them, and they're amazing.
I had never. So she sent me home with one, and I've tossed it in the freezer because I didn't get home till after 10. And so I ate it today when I got home from the city. It was delicious. I had the lemon one.
Oh, tart
Oh my
and
gosh.
frosty.
Yeah, and like really good lemon flavor.
Yeah.
So that was unreal. Thank you for that, Shelby and Robbie. Anyhow, and then my next peak is that today I had to take my car into the adjuster in Regina because it got hit. As you guys know, I talked about on the last episode, and it's only $4,000 worth of damage. So it's not a write-off.
Thank goodness.
So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy. So I get to just book it in, and the other people will pay my deductible because they hit me, and all will be fine and dandy. And in my package policy, I get a rental car, so I will not be without, which is great as well. Anyways, that's it for my peaks. And then my plans is I'm just going to try to make it through the week with my voice and have a full day tomorrow, like 10 till 8 at night. It's going to be a battle. And then I got a full day Friday. And then I have no plans. So I'm going to try to not speak. Oh, I am doing a weight loss challenge for our gym out here. It's 6 weeks long. I only signed up, like, of course, we'd all love to lose 5 pounds. And I haven't talked about my Weight Watchers journey, but I'm still I'm still doing it. I'm still tracking my food, but I haven't like made any big, like I haven't lost a bunch of, I've stayed at the same. I like fluctuate between 179 pounds and like 181. I'm just kind of like bebopping. Sometimes I'll drop a little bit lower, but then it's just, I'm there, which is fine. But I signed up because I really want to support the gym and support Derek and his wife, like their adventure. And so I thought I signed up. Maybe it'll be like the push to like push me down 5 pounds before summer starts, but so I have to weigh in on Friday. I got to do that. First, it starts May 1st, so I got to do that. Anyway, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do nothing else. I'm just going to paint and bead and go for walks. I don't even know if I'll go to the gym because sometimes when my voice gets like this, it's because I'm run down. Because I don't feel super crappy, but if I start to get run down or my thyroid is a bit weird, I will lose my voice. And so all I can think is that maybe I'm feeling a bit run down. Also, Christine said, when you do big energy work like that, like we did on Friday, it can like come out in like ways like this. Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to lay low and work on getting my voice back in action. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Sisters Social Call. So if you guys want to do us a huge favor, you guys could give us a subscribe or a nice 5-star review or something amazing, or share our podcast with your friends and family. And if you want to find us on social media, you can find Stacey on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can find myself on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can find Sisters Social Call on Instagram. I think that's going to wrap it up for us, sister.
Love you, sissy.
Love you too, sis.